Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video we're going to be talking about mainly Proxima Midnight, doing one of those stat type reviews that I typically do. It's been a while since I've done these, a lot of things going on, not just in the world, COVID-19 at the moment, but with Dark Dimension 3, you know, I got work and family, and these character review videos have kind of taken a back seat to getting some other stuff taken care of. But with the Black Order, it seems everybody's saying these guys are going to be super meta, the best, la 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 la. So I was like, you know what? Let's take a gander at these folks. We're going to go one by one. This video is just Proxima Midnight, so I'll go through her abilities, her stats. That's really the thing that I'm trying to contribute the most out of this, is see where she ranks stat-wise. I'll look at the T-Force briefly because Yeti and I do our kind of group compiled rankings on those, so I'm not going to hit those too hard here. But it will be touched on briefly, and then I'll leave a couple tidbits on what I think about the Black Order. You know, my initial impressions are there's some solid tunes there. I really need to see Ebony Maw, kind of how he brings it together. As you read his full sheet on, I forget what website it was, it seems like he's got a lot of things he can do, but it depends when they happen. So we'll see, and there's also some things about what happens with Thanos being empowered if someone dies, etc. So anyway, let's just focus on what we need to focus on for this video, and that's Proxima Midnight. So let's check out our abilities first.
Bring me WolverThor!
Alright, first up, her assist is typically just like what you get with the basic, but what's interesting here is that even when you're, you know, her level 6 clears 2 positive effects and does 230% damage. For some reason, the assist counter, according to MSF.GG, doesn't have that. It only has the 1 clear on positive effects, so that's pretty interesting. I don't know if that's an error or what, but it does have some piercing as opposed to the 20% extra damage there. So that's kind of interesting. But anyway, looking at her basic, tech primary target for 230% damage, clear 2 positive effects, and a 50% chance to gain assist from an ally Corvus Glaive. This attack cannot be blocked. If Corvus Glaive is an ally, this attack cannot be dodged. So it's a pretty solid and nice basic as far as the clear positive effects go, with the potential of an assist from Corvus Glaive. Again, we'll look at with the actual stats for damage there, but it's not. I mean, again, if her focus is great, I mean, think about what's her name, Okoye. You know, I mean, she never clears anything. Now, spoiler alert, Proxima's focus is actually pretty top notch. So we'll check that out, but. Her special Star Throw, this comes fully charged, so this is likely what you're doing with your first turn ability. Attack primary target for 200% damage, plus apply offense down. Chain to 3 targets within 2 spaces of the previous target for 150% damage, plus apply offense down. Dodge breaks this chain. It's interesting that this doesn't have a counter breaks this chain. That's normally what you're seeing in these type of things. Yeah, it looks like, you know, as long as you're hitting people, as long as there's someone there to hit, you're good. The dodge part, it's interesting. So when you're talking about these guys countering as guardians, that chain could be broken up because of any evades that Loki's got on a minion or something like that, or even on himself. The ultimate here, Last Light. This looks like your turn 2, and this is the one that people really seem to like. Attack primary target for 260% piercing, plus change speed bar by a 25%. Apply stun and slow. So you're stunning them, bringing their speed bar back a little bit, and slow them, which is pretty nice. This attack cannot be blocked, Sif. So pretty solid there. Again, we'll get into the T4s in a bit, but you know, it's the stun and slow is pretty solid, and you've got a speed bar reduction, which is nice. I'd love if it was a little bit more without the T4s, but I get it. Maybe it might be too OP, but you know, unless you've got an energy feeder here, turn 2, and then it's going to be a while for her to get it again. So her passive, Embrace the Void, on spawn, gain speed up. That's awesome. On ally Thanos' turn, if he doesn't have the Space Stone, grant him the Space Stone and speed up. This character can only do this once per match. Now, there was a fix on this. It's actually speed up for 2 additional turns. So that way, because what was happening is, or actually, I think it was this ability. He'd automatically get it, and then the speed up would go away. So it was kind of like it was pointless. So talked about this with Fox next. They understood it. They said, okay, this needs to be there actually for an additional turn, so that you can actually have speed up to go again quicker. And so now it's speed up for 2 turns. On turn, 50% chance to clear stealth from the most injured enemy. Again, Asgard counter written all over it. Gain 20% focus. Black Order and Thanos allies also gain 20% focus. So some pretty good abilities here. You like the speed up for Thanos. You've got some stun and slow, offense down where you're going to care about focus. And you've got some clear 2 positive effects where you're also going to care about focus. So we'll see what those stats come in at like. We're going to jump into those right now and kind of go through how she ranks according to, or in comparison to everybody else in the game. Okay, so for those who have not seen this sheet before, this is a monster spreadsheet that I put out there. I've got all the stats in the game for all the characters, and then I rank them. I set a baseline for this where the stats are based on level 70, 7 yellow stars, 0 red stars, gear tier 11, 1% Stark Tech because that's the lowest it goes on MSF.gg, and the passive level 4. The reason I do that is because I feel like that's a reasonable baseline to achieve for most players. You're not talking about the gold to get to level 75. You're not talking about getting gear tier 13 or 14, which obviously there can be some big stat boosts on, but I want to get, everybody on this generally same playing field. And then the way I order these is I've got an average rank system over here, so that way I can kind of see in general. So you can see Proxima Midnight is crazy high as far as her average stats. She's 6th on the entire list of everybody in the game, which I was kind of like, what? Really? All right. Like, what is she bringing her up so high? And that's her average rank, is 34. So let's see exactly which abilities are bringing her up that high. The first one that you can see here, and I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more so you can see this, just a slightly better on if you're using a mobile device or something along those lines. Her health comes in at 71,000. That's ranked 64. And I'm not really worried about her health, to be honest with you. Like, kind of like, all right, but that's still pretty high. Her damage, it comes in at 42nd. Again, not super high, but not bad. Let's see, there are 140, well, less than that because I got some doubled up old ones there, but let's just call it 135-ish characters in the game. So she's, top third there. It's kind of like, top third. That's pretty solid. Armor, again, I'm not sure. You always want armor, but she's not a tank or anything like that, so you're not super concerned about it. So she comes in at 71 there. Focus. Now, this is the one that you really wanted to kind of make sure, like, you want her landing those debuffs. You want her clearing those positive effects. She comes in at 12th. So she's right there with what soon will be Ironheart, Crystal, Black Bolt. Let's see. She's below Mr. Sinister. She's better than Graviton. So that's pretty good. I know for me personally, I'm feeling good about Graviton's abilities to land debuffs, and she's better than that. So her resistance, which I was surprised to see as high as it was ranked 6th, 1805. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Obviously, it's great. It's like, okay, so your chance to slow her down or stun her is smaller. And then her speed is top notch. It's 124 and 11th in the game. That to me is awesome. Obviously you want her going quick so you can get some of those offense downs out there, eventually get that slow and stun out there to help control that other team. So all in all, her stats, I was shocked to see how high she was here. She's got a few, really what brings her to top, 10 here is this focus, resistance, and speed. The focus and speed to me are the ones that are most important for her. You would love more damage, but her damage isn't bad. So overall, her character kit, or her stat wise for this character, I'm happy with. It's really solid. I'm not going to go blowing all my red stars on her, but it'd be great to have some high red stars on her just to give her a little bit of damage. She's not the tune that I'm most wanting red stars on this team. So now let's check out the T4s. Okay, so for T4 ranking, I've changed up how I've done this generally speaking. Yeti and I do kind of more of a team composition thing, but what I'm still doing is I'm still ranking all of the T4 abilities in the game, where I give them a general classification. This is my only one. This isn't the one I do with Yeti. That's the one I publish more openly. This is the one that I use kind of prior to that to see where I think they are and give them a damage rank. So with I've got a general classification of like great, good, okay, meh, crap, and total crap. And then what I do on top of that is I go through and anything that's got a damage increase where you'll see like plus 40% damage, I take that and look at their base damage stats and then use that increase, that 40% increase in this particular case, to see where that damage increase ranks compared to all the other damage increases in the game. Because you really want to be able to know, like, hey, is this a good bang for my buck type situation with these T4s? Because a lot of us are short on T4s, so you want to know, is that really a good damage increase or not? So her basic, when you talk about T4s here, it's an additional 40% damage to that primary. And this is the one that you're probably going to consider upgrading this for, is an additional 50% chance to gain an assist from Corvus Glaive. So you're guaranteed that Corvus Glaive assist. That's really what that's about. When you're talking the damage, this comes ranked in at 118th damage rise. So what it means is, like, for all of the damage increases in the entire game, this one ranks 118. So it's okay. It's not great as far as that. So this is, in my mind, really going to be about, do you want that guaranteed assist? And then the damage is going to kind of be an extra boost on top of that. Her special is an additional 50% primary damage to a primary target, plus apply offense down for an additional 1 turn. Meaning, when she does that, and this is a turn 1 ability, when she does that special and gives the offense down, it's now going to be there for 2 turns. That's really, really nice. And she has a chain, so she's going to be potentially putting this offense down on a set of people in a certain area within 2 spaces for 2 turns. So unless you're the team you're facing has some sort of cleanse, Groot, you know what I mean? They're going to stick there. So and it also increases the damage to that chain by an additional 50%. That damage increase is a little bit better. It comes in ranked at 78th. So that's pretty solid. But I think similar to what I said about the basic, this T4 is going to be about getting the offense down to all those other teams. Right now, I've classified this as good. With the additional offense down, I could probably going to put this in the great category, because 2 turns of offense down, I could see that just really crippling a team. My question at this point is does it matter? And that's why I haven't classified this as great yet, because I want to see the full Black Order and see, like, do you even need this? Are they good enough without the 2-turn offensive down to be able to wipe your team out? If so, then I'm gonna leave it at good. It's good. You don't need it though. So we'll see though. Her ultimate, an additional 40% piercing, plus the change the speed bar by an additional 25%. If you remember, this attacks your target, and it reduces their speed bar by 25%. This gives an additional 25% to that. So you're gonna take their speed bar down to half if it's close to full, which is honestly amazing, because you're also stunning and slowing this turn. So this is a turn 2 ability. Because it's a piercing ability, I can't rank the damage increase, because piercing's different in that regard. I always struggle still with figuring out exactly how to kind of look at piercing with these things. 40% piercing increase is pretty solid. I like the speed bar reduction, so therefore I've classified this as a good. And then her passive, on turn, you've got an additional 50% chance to clear the stealth from the most injured enemy. If you recall, let's jump back just a second. On turn, it's a 50% chance to clear the stealth. So that means she's going to guarantee to have a clear the stealth of the enemy with the the stealth enemy who's most injured. So 100% chance to clear the stealth from the most injured enemy. To me, again, that's where this T4 kind of comes in and shines. The 10% focus gain for herself, Black Order, and Thanos allies is actually obviously really nice. She doesn't necessarily need it because she's so high, but I'll take it. So from 20% focus to a 30% focus increase. This one, honestly, I've got it as good, but I'm probably going to change that to great. I just think the guaranteed chance to clear stealth, the reason I put good at that time was because how many situations are you going to have that come across? it's more than likely an Asgard counter. Do you need it? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But if you can, kill that team, like when Thanos comes down with his empowered ultimate and does that multiple times, is it going to matter if someone's stealth or not? It might not matter. So that's why I've got that currently ranked as good. So, that's really where we're looking at with this team. Proxima Midnight, she's pretty solid. She's the villain Cosmic Skill. People were talking about, are you gonna bring these guys into Dark Dimension 3? For me personally, I'm so far kind of like just, look, I don't have the gold to get her to 75. Plus I won't have that many yellow stars on her. Maybe she'll help, maybe she wouldn't. I don't know. But I'm not focused on bringing her in. So where is she gonna rank in the game? Is she gonna help this team be meta? I think she's definitely a key puzzle piece. I think her and Corvus together are gonna be a nice little pair. But she's solid. I'm pretty happy with the kit. I opened a number of red stars for her to see if I could get a 4 on her. I did not. So I got, I think, a 3 red, and I stopped. I didn't open any of my elite orbs with her, but she's definitely solid. And I'm very interested to see. I've already looked at Call Obsidian and Corvus Glaive, and I'll do videos on them as well. Of the 3, she's not the one that I'm seeing. It's the most critical. I'll get into that in another video, but she's definitely a solid addition to the Black Order. I still want to see where Ebony Maw comes in with his abilities and what happens to Thanos if he loses one of these members during a battle, if he stays empowered or not, before I deem these guys as great as they appear to be and some people are saying. So anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by. I hope this video helps. I'll do some more for this team to help kind of get you guys understanding, or help to get you to understand kind of where they're working. Obviously do the T4s with Yeti. And anyway, hammer down that like button, subscribes, notification bells, share with your alliance mates, all the goodness. Until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day.